What's up, guys? Jamie Guido with Vital MX. Got a new podcast right now. We just got Garrett Marchbanks on the line after the announcement today that he will be starting his Pro Circuit Kawasaki contract a little early, finishing up outdoors with the Pro Circuit team. It's good to talk to you, Garrett. What's going on, man?
Man, not much. Just got home a few hours ago, did some gym, and just hanging out here in SoCal.
Yeah, I would assume you're in a little bit better headspace than you were the last time we talked, which was the day of you getting released. I'm sure you're a little relieved because you didn't know what you were going to do that day.
I just kind of sat around the house and was just trying to make plans. Like, do I go home? Do I go fishing, elk hunting? I mean, I didn't know what was going on. Do I go racing? And a week later, was just driving home, got home, was chilling with the family, and got a call from Mitch Payton to come on out and start practicing and get ready for Unadilla. Nice.
And I want to get into all that, but let's just start with 2024 as a whole. This year has not gone as planned. Injured in Nashville, broke your thumb in a concussion, and you were, I think, in third, going into San Francisco. No, you got third in San Francisco and second in San Diego, so you were fourth in points at the time going into Nashville. So you were having a really good season. And then unfortunately the sport's brutal, man, and things just happen.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I want to say fifth through third, us three were really close in points. I was definitely wanting to try to, top it with my career best in Supercross and get a third overall. But, things don't work out that way. It happens. And, just took the time off, healed up from that, went to Paula, and then another crazy disaster happens with a bunch of bikes in the backside of a roller and split my thumb open.
Was it the same thumb or the other hand?
No, it was the same thumb.
That's what I thought.
I split the webbing of it, had 7 stitches in there, and it was definitely a rough one. I was like, man, I can't catch a break right now.
Right. You've been at this a long time, and you've had ups and downs through your career. It is part of the sport, but when that happens, there probably is a little bit of like, why me? Why now?
Yeah, I definitely felt that way because after Phoenix Supercross, we put a lot of time in on the 450 at that time. Mm-hmm. And I felt like things were going in a great direction. Things were going great. I feel like it was probably going to be way better of an outdoor season than even last year. And broke the thumb, got hurt. So that sent me back. And then I thought I still had my endurance. I kept working out, doing my thing, split the thumb. And then it just kind of all fell apart after that. Lost a bit of endurance and the riding time. Yeah, no, it was definitely rough and it wasn't planned. So it is what it is.
You decided to make your return at Southwick, which I don't know why you chose that round to make a return, but I know the goal was obviously to get into points for the 450 class and SMX. And just talk about the choice to come back at Southwick. And again, that race didn't go quite as planned either, right? 15-12 for 13th, ran out of fuel, Moto 1 right at the end, just a frustrating return. But talk about that.
Yeah. I know the team at the time was wanting me to race High Point, and I was like, there's no way I can do that. I'm only going to have 3 days on the bike after taking a bunch of time off. So for my best interest at the time, I was like, I'm going to just prepare myself for Southwick, see how I feel the week before. And I feel like the endurance was pretty solid at the time, went into it, and it was definitely that Southwick is one of the gnarliest ones I've ever been to. And no, it was frustrating for sure. I mean, running out of gas was something that I haven't dealt with since I was 9 years old at World Minis with my dad. And that was one time.
Sure.
So I've never experienced that. Moto 2 wasn't ideal either. I mean, I crashed in the first turn, came from last to 12th or whatever it was. And yeah, it is what it is. I think it would have been better with some better starts and not running out of gas,
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, all in all, actually, you rode really well that day. The results just don't show it. But then at Redbud, you went 7-8 for 7th, a really good ride. I feel like that was the best ride of the season, coming back off an injury. I think that's a really good finish.
Yeah, no, Redbud was definitely a step in the right direction. We basically came back for Southwick because I knew if I missed any more rounds, it was going to be really hard for me to make SMX in the 450 class. So that was the main decision why we came for Southwick. Redbud was good, so it was kind of like, okay, we're on track to make SMX pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Millville hit. We kind of hit a pretty big bump in the road. Just things weren't ideal. In Moto 1, we had some issues. And then Moto 2 actually got a pretty good start from the way outside, was in 10th, passed in the 8th. And then I don't know who hit who, but I know Malcolm crossed the ruts because he was falling, and I had nowhere to go and just smacked right into him. So we both went down and were dead last and came from last 18. So I was like, man, this day sucks. So I was like, I'm ready to go home. But, which I did. We went back to club at the time, and Tuesday I was told, I was done and packed my things up and went home.
I'm going to ask. I got one more question before we get to that. So when you were scheduled to be on the show a couple of weeks ago, Steve Mathis reached out and he said, I needed to ask you about a practice crash that happened at Redbud. He said it was kind of funny or a funny story. Do you remember what he's talking about?
Oh, in qualifying at Redbud.
Yeah.
Qualifying 2. I don't even know what the hell happened. It just happened so fast. I was like trying to put in one hot lap because I, for some reason, couldn't put one together all day. And was going up to the leap, and the front end rode up on the bank of the wall and then high sided me up, and I power drove my tailbone and butt into the lip.
That doesn't sound funny at all.
No, I mean, I just had dead ass, and I was just like, instead of a dead leg, I had a dead butt. I was like, oh my God, I can't feel my legs. And I was just kind of sitting there, and I was like, man, this really hurts, but I can't move. Give me a minute. Like, for a second, I thought I pooped myself, but luckily we didn't, so we were good. So, yeah, we got up, and I was like, all right, I'm going back to the rig, and I'm going to just sit out for a little bit.
A rough, like I said, a rough 2024 season. You mentioned, ClubMX, and they let you go. We don't want to disparage anybody, excuse me, but just kind of what's your side? How did things go from your perspective? With whatever you feel like telling us.
Man, I don't know. I just got called in. I was told I was done. I had no warning. I had no idea that was coming up. I had no idea that was something people were talking about. I was going to ride Tuesday, told not to. And, I showed up, for a meeting. They told me to show up for a meeting at 1. And, I came in and was told, hey, things aren't working out. We're going to go our own ways, and, you're done for the year. And I was like, okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. And, there's other things. It's more just between us.
Sure.
And, I have nothing bad to say. I don't need to say anything bad about them. They helped me for 4 years, took me under their wing when I had nothing going on at the time. And, at the end of the day, I am thankful for them for helping me get back to where I'm at now. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be back with Mitch. And I'm thankful for Mitch for giving me a second chance. Not a lot of people do that. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And I'm even more grateful that, even getting dropped and going home, not knowing what the heck was going on. I got a call Thursday last week on, hey, come out this weekend. We're going to start and give you a chance. So it was like, all right, perfect.
That's awesome. Because, when you got released, as we said, you didn't have anything. We already knew you were signed for 25 with Pro Circuit. But, there was nothing to finish out the season. And obviously you want to get into the SMX series because there's a lot of money to be made there. It's a really good opportunity. But you were a little worried. So, I guess Mitch calls you up. And how did the deal originally come about? Because the vibe was always that you guys didn't part, Mitch Payton and yourself didn't part on the best of terms. But I think you've kind of debunked that over the years, that it really wasn't as bad as maybe the media thought it was.
Me personally, no. I didn't think there was anything wrong. Mitch and I talked during the whole split up, and he was the one that told me, we'll give you a shot maybe the year after or whatever you have planned with contracts. So no, Mitch was always super good to me. Always straightforward. I never had issues with Mitch. He always treated me great. I just think there was a miscommunication with my former agent at the time. And nothing against him. Just things happened. I just think, I guess bridges were burnt at the time that I didn't know of. I mean, I was an 18-year-old kid just trying to get going in the racing and, thought things were going good. And then next thing I know, I blow my knee out and nothing was going the plan. I was like, well, all right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing now with my career.
Mm-hmm.
But no, over the 4 years, me and Mitch talked here and there. And, we've always been good. And, we talked this year, obviously. And, obviously he must have liked something this year with me to re-sign me back. And I'm pumped about it. I'm excited to get back on this bike, which I rode today, and bike's great. I love it. Already starting to gel with it. So hopefully we come out to Unadilla and, do good.
Yeah. I want to ask you, I know with the Muc-Off FXR ClubMX team, you rode 250 Supercross, you were able to ride 450s outdoor, and I think you enjoyed the opportunity to be on 450s, and, long term, that's kind of where you want to be. But now you're back at Pro Circuit. Well, it's probably 250 only deal. I assume there's no talk of having an 450 option right now for outdoors.
No. I kind of made a joke, I think, when we were talking about contracts, and he was like, no, we're not doing that. I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, I thought I'd throw it out there to be funny, but no, sure. I got it.
All right, let me ask you this, and you may not want to give too much information, but you start your contract early. They're helping you out, allowing you to try to get into SMX. What does that mean financially? Because they're not really, I wouldn't think they're actually extending your contract. How do you get paid for these next few months? Is it just something they add on to your contract? Is it, how is it just purse money, or do you even want to answer that?
As of now, I've got nothing. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I think just helping with travel.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like any fill-in guy, they're going to help with the travel and stuff like that. But, I'll get the purse money from the races, but I think it's basically just like a fill-in ride. They're riding for free, just trying to prove themselves. And for me, luckily, I've got my deal for next year. But yeah, now I'm just renting a place out here in SoCal, just putting on my own financial stuff and, hopefully bank off of, SMX to make that money up and, just wait for when the 25 contract starts.
Well, you're 21st overall right now in the 250 SMX, which I forget who's right in front of you, but I think there's a couple guys that you shouldn't have any problem moving up. I'm trying to pull up the points right now, but I think getting into not having to deal with the LCQ should not be a problem. I think you'll be good as long as you go out and ride like yourself. Right.
Yeah, no, I think I'm 2 points back from 20th. I've seen when I watched Wash Your Goal.
Yeah.
I think Schwartz got me.
Yeah, that's who it was. But, I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. I feel like, go out there and I don't know what the goal is for Unadilla. I mean, I'd love to be around the 1 to 10 position, just because I haven't rode a lights bike besides the 2 rounds last year. But I mean, realistically, competitively, last year was in 21. So yeah, I mean, just for how I feel right now, just get some good starts, battle with those top dudes, and see where I end up.
Perfect. Yeah, you're 4 points behind Schwartz, and then 23 it looks like behind Savacci, Romano. So I believe you'll be all right. It looks, and like Cody Schock's going to be dropping some points since he's not doing outdoors, but yeah, I think you're going to be fine. SMX is a hell of a good deal for a guy like yourself, especially in the situation you're in right now. So, dude, I'm stoked, man. I know, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, you were a little worried because you just didn't know what was going to happen. So this is kind of a blessing. And last thing I guess I have for you, you mentioned riding the bike. You're starting to get comfortable with it. What did you like about the bike today? And how different does it feel from when you were on the Pro Circuit bike, 4 years ago?
I mean, this thing just feels like a rocket ship from 4 years ago. I mean, obviously the bike was good then. It's hard to tell because it's been 4 years.
Sure.
But no, I mean, the bike's just, it's super fast. Suspension super good, super smooth, and no, just with the things we tested today and tried, I really loved and enjoyed, and I love having the opportunity to try different things on my bike. And no, it's great. Like I said, I'm super thankful for Mitch and all these guys over here at Pro Circuit for giving me the opportunity and basically helping me with anything I need on the bike. So I'm pumped about that. And anything to get me comfortable for the races, I feel like they're going to do for me. Yeah,
I would agree, man. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go. I know you want to get some dinner. You just got done with a cycle. I appreciate you jumping on here. It's kind of, well, where I'm at, it's 9:00 at night. So I know it's evening time to chill out. So thank you for your time, and congratulations on getting the opportunity to finish out the season, and good luck.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, Garrett. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.